Hey guys, okay, so today we're going to talk about approximating square roots. Okay, we're going to talk about how to approximate them without having a calculator. So today I do not want you to use the calculator at all. On the EOG, this will be on the inactive part, so it is good if you go ahead and practice now without having a calculator because you will not have it on the EOG. Okay, so please do not, you're only cheating yourself out. Okay, if you use it. So don't use a calculator. Okay, so we're finally on goal number 7. I can approximate square roots. Okay, approximate means not exactly, okay, but you can come close to what the square root is. Okay, the first kind of problem we could see with this is example number 1. Between what two consecutive integers is the square root of 96? Okay. So to do that, you need to have the first 15 perfect square roots memorized, okay? So if you look at the standards for North Carolina, they expect you to have all of these 15 memorized, okay? If you don't have them memorized, it might be kind of hard for you to memorize them. But these are your perfect square roots, okay? So when they ask us what two consecutive integers, they're asking us for a number. Okay, they don't want us to put the square root or whatever, but in order to find that, we first have to find what 96 is between. So 96 is between, okay, what square roots is 96 between? So you're going to look over here, okay, up. So 96 is between 81 and the square root of 100. Okay, so you're looking at this column. So over here you're going to put square root of 96 is between 81 and 100. Now to find the integer, you just do the square root. So the square root of 81 is 9. The square root of 100 is 10. So the two consecutive integers of the square root of 96, okay, it's going to be between 9 and 10. Okay, again, you have to look at the perfect square roots, okay, and then find the integers that go along with it, and that's going to be your answer. So again, you're just looking over here and you're seeing what two perfect squares, perfect, okay, does that integer fall between, and it falls between 9 and 10. Let's do another one. Between what two consecutive integers is 183? Okay, so that is between so 183, okay, it's going to be between 169 and 196. Again, these are your perfect square roots. So square root of 169 is 13. Square root of 196 is going to be 14. Okay, and that is my answer. So I want you to try this one. So go ahead, pause the video, okay, work this out and see what you get, and then come back for the answer. Okay, welcome back. So the square root of 11 is going to be between the square root of 9 and the perfect square root of 16. And then we have to find an integer. Square root of 9 is 3, square root of 16 is 4. So the square root of 11 falls between 3 and 11. 3 and 4, excuse me. Again, having these memorized is very, very, very important because problems like this, you're not going to have a calculator. Okay, I can almost guarantee you that. But sometimes they want us to come up with a decimal. Okay? So now we're going to talk about approximating square roots. Sometimes square roots are not perfect. So if they're not on this list, Okay, they are not considered a perfect square root. Okay, you're going to end up with a decimal. Okay, so for example, the square root of 12, okay, this is not a perfect square root. Okay? It is not. It is your job to find the answer to the nearest tenth, so one decimal place. Okay, so to do that, step 1, okay, you have to find the two consecutive integers that the square root of 12 falls between. So to do that, let's look at the perfect squares. So the square root of 12 will fall between the square root of 9 and the square root of 16. Okay, and then the square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of 16 is 4. Okay. So we know it's going to be 3.1 or 3.2. It's going to be between these numbers. Okay, your answer is going to be one of these numbers right here. Okay, it's not going to be 4 because it's between 3 and 4. So you're looking for the number that gets you the closest to the number inside the square root. Okay, so to do that, the first thing you need to do is you need to pick a number. Okay, my strategy in doing this is I always start halfway. Okay, so I'm going to start with 3.5 because I can either go down if I need to or I can go up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3.5 times itself. Okay. Now, again, you're not going to have a calculator, so if you need a refresher on how to multiply decimals, this is the lesson for you. Okay, so 5 times 5 is 25. Carry you 2. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 2 is 17. Okay, you have to put a placeholder. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry you 1. 3 times 3 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. Then you're going to add. Okay, and then count how many decimals you have on the side. 1, 2. So I'm going to put my decimal 2 places. So 12.25. Now, you want to look. Is this close to what's inside the square root? It is. It's a little over. Okay, so if it's a little over, I'm going to try 3.4 and see which one gives me that closest estimate. So let's try 3.4. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry you 1. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. Put your placeholder. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. Plus 1 is 12. Hold on. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. Can't add today. Okay. Then add. I have 2, so it's going to be right here. Okay. So which one of these are closer to 12? Okay. And this one is closer to 12. So the answer is 3.5. Okay. So if I took the square root of 12.25, I would get 3.5. Okay, so that's all you're doing. You're just seeing step 1, what two integers does the square root of 12 fall between? Okay, and you know it's going to be 3 point something. Start with 3.5. Multiply by within itself. Okay, and you're going to get this. And then if this is above what you're trying to get to, which is 12, then you're going to go under 1. Okay, if it is above, you're going to go up 1. Okay, and you can know between these two. You can stop when you know 12 is going to fall between these two. Okay, that makes sense. We'll do more where you might have to keep on going until you get the correct answer. Okay, but that's how you would solve these. Let's do another example. Let's do okay, again, step 1, what two perfect square roots does 111 fall between? And it falls between 100 and 121. So square root of 100 is 10, 121 is 11. So we know that this estimate is going to be between 10 and 11, so it's going to be 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.4, so on and so forth. Okay? So I'm going to start with 10.5. So that's the middle point. Okay, again, you're just guessing and you're checking. That's all you're doing. You're seeing which number times, which one of these times itself is going to give you the closest to 111. So I'm going to always start at 0.5. Okay. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 0 is 0 plus 2 is 2. 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, put your placeholder. 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. So now we're on my third number, so I need to put 2 placeholders. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. Then add that all together. Okay, and then I have 2, so it's going to be 1, 10, 25. So this is a little bit below 111. So let's go up 1 and see what we get. So let's do 10.6. Okay, 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 0 is 6. Plus 3 is 3. 6 times 1 is 6. Put my placeholder. 0 times 0 times 6 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. Now we're right here, so I'm going to put 2 placeholders. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. Add it all together. 2 decimals. Okay. So now, which one of these are closer to 111? Okay. To do that, I'm going to take the larger number. So with this, I'm going to take 111 minus 110. Okay. I'm going to put my placeholders right here. Okay, I'm going to have to bury. 9 minus 2 is what? Okay, it is going to be 7. And 0, 0, 0. So that is 0.7 away from what we want. Okay, so now let's try this one over here. So again, you're going to take the larger number minus what we're trying to get. Put my placeholders. And I get 1.36. So which is closer? The 0.75 one. So I'm going to go with 10.5. Okay. And that is going to be my answer. So now I want you to try this next one. So go ahead, pause the video, okay, and see what you get for this one. Okay, welcome back. So the two perfect square roots that 71 falls between is going to be the square root of 64 and the square root of 81. Okay. Square root of 64 is 8 and 9. So we know it's going to be 8 point something. I'm going to always start with 8.5. Okay. So 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, 5 times 8 is going to be 40 plus 2 is 42. Put my placeholder. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 8 is 64. Plus 4 is going to give me 68. Add. 8 plus 4 is going to give me 12. Okay. So if we look at this, this is pretty close to what we have. Okay, we're trying to get to 71, but this is a little over, so let's go one under and see what we get. So let's try 8.4. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, 4 times 8 is going to give me 32, plus 1 is 33. Put my placeholder. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 8 is going to give me 64 plus 3 is going to give me 67. And I'm going to add. Okay, so which one is closer to 61? It's going to be 8.4. So that's going to be my answer, is 8.4. Okay, that is my estimate of the square root of 71. Okay, let's say if this would have been if 71 wouldn't have fallen between these, we would have to keep on going. Okay, so if it would have been if 71 wouldn't have fallen between these two, we would have to keep going until we find two numbers that 71 falls in between. Okay, so you know 71 has to be between 72 and 70. Okay, and if it wasn't, then you would have to keep going until you find that. Okay, so we're going to do practice problems on Delta Math. Okay, and the cool thing about Delta Math is it allows you to keep on doing it over and over again until you get 100. Okay, and they walk you through step by step on how to do it. Okay, they give you solutions. So Delta Math is really helpful. There's only 5 questions. Okay, that is all. As soon as you get on 100, you can crit. Okay, but I want everyone to aim out of 100. Okay, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. And I hope you all have a good day.